Hey everyone, Daddy here with yet another Omni review. Today we're going to tackle DC Versus Marvel Omnibus. Pretty big one here. This one I was waiting for quite a while. You'll never see something like this new again nowadays, because I just don't see DC and Marvel doing kind of a team up in that, but you never know. There's more of this coming out next year. We're supposed to be out this year, but there was a big printing. I guess error would be the word. They had to destroy all the copies of the next volume of that, which is like the amalgamations and all that. So let's jump into this here. We got some great books in this collection so far. Let's see here. In 1976, the two big comics sought to end the speculation and made up pop culture history by pitting their most popular heroes, Superman and the Amazing Spider-Man, against each other. The success of this one-shot comic paved the way for future collaborations between the House of Ideas and the distinguished competition, ushering in a new age of intercompany crossover events that boasted some of the industry's biggest writers and all this. So this is for the first time in 20 years. Comics that started all collected in a brand new omnibus featuring team-up such stories between classic DC Universe and Marvel characters. From Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man #1, Marvel Treasury Edition 28, number 27, the DC and Marvel present Uncanny X-Men and Teen Titans, Batman and Punisher Lake of Fire, Batman and Punisher Deadly Nights, Darkseid versus Galactus, Spider-Man and Batman, Green Lantern and Silver Surfer, Superman, Batman Captain America, Daredevil Batman, Batman and Spider-Man again, Superman Fantastic Four, Hulk versus Superman, and Batman Daredevil. So this volume also includes the essays from original creative teams, new introductions, and afterwards, and original art pages from the original books as well too. So pretty amazing book here. Like I said, so many neat things. When these first came out as a kid, or when I was a kid, these first came out, it really blew your mind because you were never ever expected to see, DC and Marvel together. So that's pretty awesome. I myself have read some of the stories in here, but not all of the stories. It's kind of hard to read some of the original ones, like the first three that we're going to look at in here, because they were such a large treasure size. I'll show you that in a second. Got some cool artwork here as well. You'll see later on in the afterwards stuff that this is promotional artwork that the company had for all this, and they purposely had it so all the Marvel people were on one side and then all the DC people were on the other side, so the companies could use the artwork afterwards for themselves as well too, without having to involve the other companies. So that's pretty cool as well. So like I said, these are the collection. All these great books in here. So the first one in here is, of course, the Superman and Batman one. It's pretty mind-blowing at the time. This book itself is not a actual comic book. Well, it's just not comic book in size. This one here is one of these giant treasury editions there. So the Superman and Spider-Man like this, and then the other Superman and Spider-Man is also this size, and the Batman Hulk is also this size too. Everything else is normal comic book size. So like I said, these are kind of cool. So I've had these since I was a little kid. Something back then cost $2. Something like this nowadays would probably cost you like $20, $25. So kind of neat. And of course the villains in this story. Yeah, so this artwork is pretty awesome, even in just this regular size. So you can imagine how cool it was holding that giant comic book treasury size one as in your hands as your kid reading it. So lots of great artwork on this first story here. A lot of these stories were, like I said, were one shots and little trade paperback graphic novels and treasuries like this. So their stories are a little bit longer than regular issues, so that's nice too. A little bit of meat on the bone. See some amazing artwork there. Truly. Battling Spider-Man, you got Doc Ock. You got Lex Luthor and Doc Ock meeting up in jail. Of course, they form a plan and break out. You got the classic, like, superpowers looking, Legion of Doom looking Lex. You got Lois and Peter meeting. And of course, what happens every time two heroes meet, there's a misunderstanding, and they have to fight first before realizing that they're on the same side and gotta work things out. So that's pretty interesting. And like I said, then there's the next one here with Lex Luthor still with them. They're pretty long, some of these, like I said, the original ones. And it shows how that cover was first made. And then they jump into the second time there was a large one like that, and I love this painted cover where it's Dr. Doom and Parasite versus them. So still pretty good story. Not as good as the first one there, but still pretty good. Again, some more classic artwork. The Hulk shows up in here as well. And I believe Wonder Woman. Classic scene there. Where else are you going to see that? And you can see that's for Wonder Woman. Dr. Doom wants to capture all of them and use the parasite to drain them all, make himself immortal type of idea. Spidey and Superman teaming up to try and take out a bomb. And then more of the back of the cover of the original book there. And like I said, the third of these giant treasure size ones, Batman and the Hulk, with the Joker in the background there. This one was good too. I had never read this one before, so that was a fun read for the first time. The Hulk getting captured. Classic Batman pose. And then we start moving into some of the just regular comic book size one. This is a great read. I have a copy of this actually autographed by the all three of those guys there. So yeah, Titans and X-Men. So that worked out pretty well together, and a great story. They blend those two teams work out really well together, being young teenage heroes. So that was a good one there too. That one's from the early 80s as well. This one is always in comic stores. You find it probably for like $5 to $10. Like I said, I got a copy of it myself where it's autographed by the creative team there. Then we switch into Batman and Punisher. The Punisher in here is Azrael. That one was okay. This is definitely more into the 90s now. Batman and Punisher again. We got Ramita doing the art here, so I like the artwork on this one. Wasn't too bad. Punisher, Joker, Batman. This one's Silver Surfer. It's Darkseid. There's Galactus. There's Decide, trying to take out Silver Surfer. Then we got a Spider-Man and Batman. We got Joker and Carnage are the bad guys in here, and again, it's totally in that 90s feel. Some pretty good artwork on this. This is almost like the Batman 89 stuff, so definitely early 90s. This one is an alright story, with Carnage and Joker as the villains. Nice splash page there. Green Lantern, Silver Sable. Ron Mars doing this one. Never read this one before, so it was an okay read as well too. Thanos is in this one. You got Parallax in there as well too. So that one was okay. Like I said, never read that one, but nice artwork though for sure. Wasn't really a big Green Lantern fan at the time when all that Parallax stuff was going on. I know it's classic and that, but you got Superman and Silver Surfer. Fighting the Super Skrull. Again, some more great artwork. So definitely a great book for the value. Like I said, you're not going to get this stuff probably printed again. Second volume will have all the JLA versus the Avengers and Marvel Gamation and that. You got a Batman and Captain America one here. John Byrne. This one's kind of neat because it takes place in the World War II, so before Cap gets frozen and when Batman would have been like originally happening. So this one I'd never read either, and that was a neat take on it, so I enjoyed this one as well too. And some very classic looking art as well, especially the Batman. So that was a good one. The red skulls in there. Yeah, that was a neat one. Some of these are labeled as Elseworlds books as well too. So DC Elseworlds, so kind of like a multiverse type of thing. This is Batman and Daredevil. Again, you can tell this from that 90s, early 2000s time. Got Two-Face and Mr. Hyde working together. Don't really like this Mr. Hyde version. Right, that's the end of that one. Then we got another Spider-Man and Batman. This one was okay as well too. Really like the artwork in here too. Made me think back to you know, the early ASMS stuff. So nice looking Batman in there. Again, always a sucker for the dark blue and black with the yellow symbol. Kingpin. Working with Ra's al Ghul. This is totally dumb here. These guys, Batman and Spider-Man, are in cover as these two. I don't understand how that would... You could have a mask that goes over a mask like that, but... It is a comic book, so... Yes, that's not too bad as well. Yes, Superman and Fantastic Four. This was the first time I read this one. This one's okay. Artwork was alright too. Made me think of, like, again, that 90s stuff. So not a huge fan of this one, but the story's alright. Cyborg Superman is always a good villain. Superman gets turned into a herald for Galactus. Let's see. So that's kind of neat. A little different. Again, some great splash pages in this book here for sure. Stuff you'll never see again. And then you get Superman and the Hulk. That was a good one too. And Superman and the Hulk here is when again, like in the 60s when the Hulk was first starting. So it's kind of a flashback story. That's good. First time reading that one. Like a Batman and Daredevil. That one was kind of neat. I like the Catwoman in here. So that was cool. Didn't really have anything bad to say about any of these. But yeah, it was a great read. And then the last part of this book here is like what I call the bonus stuff. Original artwork and scripting, plots written by the guys, forewords and pre-words, epilogues and that by the presidents of the publishers at the time and that. So great stuff there. A bit of a breakdown on the covers. And for the first time ever, I ever saw an audience, they have fold-out pages. That's pretty cool too. So that's the Fantastic Four one. And this is that one I was talking about earlier, the back cover. That's cool too. So that was a little neat surprise. And a few more pages of that. Alright, so that is my review of the DC Versus Marvel Omnibus. Hope you liked it. Please like and share, subscribe, all that. And look for the following one that comes in January that has the rest of the DC and Marvel crossover stuff. Take care, everybody.